Hello, my fam! It has been trending all weekend long. This new Shane Dawson video with Eugenia Cooney. It's an hour long, but I just got around to watching it last night. I have a lot of thoughts on that. I will get to that. Plus, some beef between James Charles and I. But I need to start off today by talking about Tana Mongeau. I watched, so you hopefully didn't or don't have to, the second episode of her MTV reality show. A lot of it is based around Tana appearing on Wild 'N Out, which, by the way, I'm going to be on Wild 'N Out tonight. Your boy Perez Hilton this evening on MTV. Thank you, Nick Cannon. Everybody tune in. Jason Lee and I, we go at it. All right, so on paper, Tana Turns 21 was a good idea for Tana Mongeau and her team. But in reality, I don't think that it's a good look for her. She now, 2 episodes in a row, her show comes across so unlikable. And if she was part of an ensemble, that would be fine and great, because then you do have the people that you root for and care about also on the show. The only person I care about in Tana Turns 21 is Jordan, her manager, who continues to shine and me think is the real star of the show. I almost stopped watching the second episode when Tana literally said, "I'm so memeable." She was talking about her upcoming appearance on Wild 'N Out, and she said that she was nervous because anything she does would be turned into a meme. She is so full of herself. And I don't think it has anything to do with youth. There are plenty of young people that are also very successful and have a different approach. Self-deprecating, insecure, whatever it may be. Maybe Tana is that, but we haven't seen it yet. And maybe she is insecure, but hides it with being overly confident. Anyways, I'll get to Wild 'N Out, but before Tana goes to Atlanta to film that episode, which I did too. I flew to Atlanta. Thank you again, Nick Cannon. We meet Jake Paul on the show. And at the very end of the second episode, I'm going all over the place in the timeline to tie it into Jake Paul. We see Jake for a little bit of episode 2, like barely anything really. He's in a kitchen scene and talking to her friends while they're baking. At the end of the show, a preview for the next episode, they talk about how even Tana's closest friends don't think her relationship with Jake Paul is real. Duh. 'Cause it's not. Isn't that wild that it really is reality TV just on YouTube? 90% of the people shipping it and watching it and consuming it know it's not real, and it doesn't even bother them. Anyways, she goes to Atlanta, and Tana Mongeau at that point was still only 20 years old. She goes with an entire posse. Remember what I said a minute ago about Tana really thinking highly of herself? I'm so memeable. She goes with her manager, she goes with her assistant, and she goes with her roommate. Is her name Ashley? I don't remember her name. You don't need to be so diva. You're not all that. You're Tana Mongeau. You don't even have 10 million subscribers on YouTube. There's so many others that have way more. So she gets there, she's nervous, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if the final episode is aired, but from the clip that I saw, they clearly massaged it to make her look as good as possible on the show. Of course, clearly, they don't want to see you fail. And that was basically the whole show. It's only 15 minutes long. A little asterisk. I would say my favorite part of Tana's show is when they Chironed, when they introduced Jake Paul and they put a little banner underneath him that said controversial YouTuber. And oh God, what did it say for Tana? For Tana, they said celebrity YouTuber. Jake Paul's way more a celebrity than Tana Mongeau, and she's just as controversial as Jake Paul. Okay, don't get it twisted. And also, I need to check Tana Mongeau's birth certificate. I find it so hard to believe that she's just 21 years old. Everything about her, she comes across like she's 30. Like actually, literally 30. And I feel like she should be chain smoking. She feels like she's just constantly has a cigarette in her hand, which if you're young or old, don't smoke. That's gross. Don't do it. Any other parting thoughts on that? No. Let's get to the Shane Dawson video. You guys, Friday, I did something top secret. And I had to work. It was a very busy day. That's when Shane released his video. I wasn't able to get to it on Friday. Yesterday morning, I didn't want to delay my daily recap by an hour plus to include it. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll just talk about it Sunday. Is no big deal. More people will have seen it by then. And there were a lot of great things about the Eugenia Cooney video that Shane Dawson did. First, I love that Shane chose her because she's only got 1.8 million subscribers on YouTube. She's not a huge YouTuber. He's got over 20 million and she's got less than 2. He wanted to do this video to do good. And I love that. This video I was way more down with than Jeffree Star or conspiracies or anything else. I did enjoy his TanaCon videos because that was just much better than the Jeffree or the Jake one. But anywho, clearly, we didn't hear a lot. There were no real specifics spoken. And that's okay. It's not for us to know everything. If and when this young girl, I think she's just 24 years old, decides to tell us more, then she will. It wasn't perfect. I would have liked to have learned even more. Just like it was an hour long, and I get why Shane did it. Once again, he wanted to do good, and it wasn't even just all about Eugenia. It was about anybody else that may be struggling with an eating disorder or any kind of issue, which is why he spent so much time talking to that therapist, friend of his, in the beginning and throughout as well. It was weaved through. If there was any takeaway, it was one line that Eugenia said where she tells those watching, there's a lot more to people than what you're going through. And I loved that. I think she was reserved, but mostly honest. Listen, I give it to you guys 100. When she said that her hair was not a wig, did anybody else call BS on that? And that's not a mean comment. It's just an observation, right? I haven't commented anything at all about her body. Just pointing out what appeared to me to be obvious deception, which I understand. Maybe she's totally bald. Maybe she's suffered severe hair loss. She may not want to be seen that way. She may not be ready. She's clearly still working through her deep issues. I mean, this girl needed real help and got it, thankfully, and presented herself wearing a lot of baggy clothes, hiding her body. I don't want to say she looked healthier. Is that bad? I'm trying to remember what the girl said, the therapist. She did look healthier, but it's clear that she's still in it. It's a process. And that was another thought, like recovery, real recovery is not a quick process. This poor girl went to get help at the beginning of this year, in February, late January. So to expect her to look, to feel this, that, or the other in July or June when they probably filmed that, we can't have any expectations of somebody else. She doesn't owe anybody anything. She just owed herself to get better. And the fact that she did agree to chat and trust Shane Dawson, that's awesome, because that did require a lot of trust. He could have made it sensational or this or that or the other. He could have prodded and really just gotten stern or whatever, but he didn't. He was very respectful consistently, and I loved how he tied in his own issues with food in the past, and I thought it was really well done. And of course, there was a helpline number at the end for people to reach out if they're struggling. I love... One of the reasons I think Shane Dawson's really connected over the last 2 years is he changed his content. Before it was a lot more comedy, but now he's revealing more of his real self. And his real self is not a traditional YouTuber or your typical Hollywood star or this or that or the other. He's not polished. He doesn't look perfect or whatever it may be. He looks like a normal dude. He sounds like a normal dude. He's got issues that are relatable, from skin issues to his eating issues. And he doesn't sugarcoat any of that. He's been letting it all air out and not hiding anymore behind a mask. Because I think before, Shane was really hiding behind a mask, and he's let that mask go, and this is really him. What else? Eugenia returned to her channel. She's uploaded 2 videos. I watched both of them. The first video, I'm back. Whatevs. It was whatevs. The second one was the what I missed while I was in rehab with Shane Dawson. And that one, we learned an interesting little nugget, which is she started on YouTube as a Jonas Brothers fan vlogger. Eugenia, if you're watching this, I've got to show you something. Bum, 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 bum. How cool! I just ate an apple. I had apple in my teeth. Apple. It's made out to me, to your boy, Perez Hilton. One of my most prized possessions. So yes, Eugenia, the future is yours. Your future is so bright. Like I said, you owe nothing to anyone. And I think that the response has been overwhelmingly positive. And actually, you know what? I still don't like him, but it was nice to see that clip in the Shane doc about PewDiePie. And I think she mentioned him as well more than once, that PewDiePie was really nice and sending genuine get well wishes to Eugenia Cooney. So good on you, PewDiePie. All right, let's end things today, our influencer-specific video, with some tea on James Charles. James sat down for a round table discussion with Connor Franta and some other YouTubers. And in that discussion, he said that he's all for free speech, but he thinks that YouTube drama channels should be deleted. Bless her heart. James Charles, I think he graduated high school. I think he's still really young. I think he's also full of doo-doo. I can say that and still be monetized. Doo-doo. You cannot support free speech and in the same breath say that those practicing free speech should have their YouTube channels deleted just because you don't like what somebody's saying. If somebody is straight up making up lies, that's one thing, okay? And if people are making up lies about James Charles, then he should, if he wants, although I would not encourage this, send a legal letter, sue them. Although don't do that. Don't be that douche, James Charles. Like, be grateful. It's all this ecosystem. It's all symbiotic, and you may not see it now because you're young, but those YouTube drama channels, and I would not consider myself one. I am the original drama channel before there was even the term drama channel. I'm a pop culture channel. I talk about positive things, not just drama. I talk about traditional celebrities as well as digital celebrities, YouTubers, Instagrammers, whatever. And just be grateful that you're hot right now, because you may not be next year. Look at Cameron Dallas. I would say Cameron Dallas, even though he's got a lot of followers on Instagram, I would say he's had a really bad 2019. He hasn't gotten much attention. People don't care about him. And I think he's got over 10 million followers on Instagram, maybe even over 20 million. I don't know. Let me check real quick because I have OCD. Cameron Dallas, Instagram. He has 21 million followers. Does he even have a YouTube? Cameron Dallas, YouTube. Let's see. I don't know why he wouldn't. Oh, he does have a YouTube. Does he upload on his 5.6 million on YouTube? Wow. Oh, he does upload on YouTube, but he hasn't in a long time. His last upload was 8 months ago. This bad song that he released. He was consistent. Well, he never made YouTube a priority. He 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like 16 videos total. I guess he never felt like he needed to because he was making a lot of money elsewhere and doing other things. But yeah, James Charles makes it so hard to like him. And yet a lot of people do. Do you like James Charles? Do you like me? Sometimes I don't even like myself. That's not true. I like myself all the time. And I'm really going to like myself tonight on Wild and Out. Please tune in. That's the second time I've been on MTV in 4 weeks. MTV, we should make this a regular thing. I think Perez should have his own show. Come on, MTV, let's make it happen. All right, my fam, that's it. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I love you. Mwah. As always, hit the like button, leave a comment, follow, subscribe, share. Hit the like button, leave a follow, turn on notifications. Cameo from me at cameo.com/Perez Hilton. It's a personalized video. Greetings, PerezNewsletter.com. Sign up for my newsletter. Follow me on Instagram, the Perez Hilton. Read PerezHilton.com every day. Follow my family channel, the Perez Hilton. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye. Just dance. Gonna be okay. Just dance. Been direct, babe. Poker face. Poker face.